how can we actually foster more interest in politics amongst our youth? I have to also say that some of our ministers' social media game is strong. It's getting better with time actually, and they're giving a tough fight for the youngsters. But how do you think we can increase youngsters' interest in politics?
Well, I think the social media is one way of doing it. I went onto Facebook, Instagram, then came TikTok. I think TikTok will be for the next generation of ministers. And at least it interests the people in the personalities, maybe a little bit in the content, and hopefully encourages them to think more deeply about what this is about. But frankly, you cannot convey the essence of being a Singaporean via social media. Even with a television channel and a newspaper and acres of newsprint, you work very hard to get that sense across. Because it's not just the message across, but the interaction and the participation and the life experience and engagement which makes it happen. So to make the younger generation interested, I think if you have a crisis, people pay attention. During COVID, my posts were always very well followed because people were anxious and wanted to know what was happening. And if I had something new to tell them or to update them, they wanted to know. I'm sure there will be other tensions which will come and people will pay attention. During Gaza, Israel-Gaza, I think news consumption went up. During Ukraine, in early stages, news consumption went up. Probably now tapered off. But hopefully people read all this and don't just treat it as entertainment. I finish watching flick, and then tomorrow I flick new stuff. But something sinks home and you think about it and contemplate it and conclude what does it mean to be a Singaporean. And I think that is a lot of work. We try to do it in school, we try to do it through national service. I hope parents try to do it with their children. We do it every year, National Day, we make a big thing of the parade because it's an opportunity for people to take pride in the country. These things mean something and we need to do more of them.
Your advice for young people, on taking the next step and to join politics like you have?
If you are idealistic, if you want to do something, if you want to make a contribution, please seriously consider that. It's very hard, it's harder now. I think to join politics maybe not so hard because it's may not be in the limelight. To decide to be a candidate is harder because then you are exposed and your family also has their privacy impinged upon, and family time. I mean, if all your weekends are spent in the constituency, when are you going to take your kid to the zoo? So that's a consideration. But also social media and the online discourse, which can sometimes be very vicious, is a real consideration. And the families say, why do I want to put myself and my kids through this? Even if you're willing to sacrifice, what about, you must think about us. So that is a real problem. And that's why we disapprove strongly of the false and vicious stuff which comes out on the internet. We haven't got a entirely good solution yet, but it is a serious problem. And it is particularly a problem looking for people coming in to take office, to be PALSECs, MOSs, ministers. No, what for? And yet you need high quality PALSECs, MOSs, ministers, MPs, grassroots activists.